Berlin is one of the coolest and rebellious European cities. When going on a Eurotrip, you must add this amazing city to your itinerary. The city does have a traumatic history, which definitely makes it worth visiting, but also might get you in trouble if you don't avoid making some incredibly bad mistakes. In order to prevent that, I have these series where I discuss the biggest mistakes not to make while traveling a place. Previously, I've also made videos on other cities like Amsterdam and London. You can find these videos linked in the description below. This week, it's time for Berlin. Here are the biggest mistakes not to make when traveling Berlin. To see more of my videos in the future, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. You can also find more of my videos on foreigner travel in India, linked below. Okay, so for Berlin, I have 5 biggest mistakes not to make when traveling there, and a bonus one, but we'll get to that at the end. Number 1, I am really sad that I actually have to mention this because some people, unfortunately, in this world still think that this is funny or even sadder, cool. I'm talking about making the Nazi salute. First of all, it is illegal to do it in the whole of Germany and actually in some other European countries too, like Austria and Switzerland. So hopefully, if you think this is funny, you will either get a fine or get jailed for this. In case that doesn't happen, you have a very, very high chance of getting beaten up. And if you do get beaten up, don't expect like other people to have your back because you're being such a massive beep. Luckily, most people know this is absolutely not appropriate, not even making jokes about this or doing this as a joke. But unfortunately, there are still some tourists who do this and they get in trouble. So I thought it might be good for you to know that this is not funny and it is really, really, really not cool to do this. Number 2, I am definitely not a museum person. 9 out of 10 times when I visit a new place, I will go for the food places, I will go for like outdoor areas, maybe shopping, those kind of things. A museum will not be very high on my list. So when my brother proposed to go to the DDR Museum, I was like, are you sure? Are you really, really, really sure? And I was happy afterwards that he was really sure, because it is such a cool museum. It is literally one of the coolest museums in the world where I have ever been. It is very much a mix of very, very unique history, a lot of pop culture as well. The zeitgeist, like my German people would say, or like the spirit of the time is so effortlessly present in that museum. The museum will give you goosebumps at times. Other times you will be amazed at what people had available or how they managed in those times. It is really such a cool museum and definitely worth the visit. When we were there, and that was also actually during the summer in August, it was also not that crowded, which is always a plus in my book. So make sure to put the DDR Museum on your itinerary 100%. Don't miss out on that. Because this doofus right here, the stubborn person who is not really a museum person, I would have definitely missed out on that if my brother didn't force me to go. And I was very happy that he did. The third thing that is so cool in Berlin, and actually I should have added this to Amsterdam too, but for Berlin I feel it goes even more. You can do so much cool vintage shopping in Berlin. And I'm not just talking about like small products or like cool vintage clothes. Those are there too, but they also have vintage designer stores. Yep, that's right, vintage designer stores. Unfortunately, I don't have footage of this because when I visited with my brother the first time, I wasn't vlogging back then. But I will try to look up some pictures of cool vintage shops and insert also some links of shops in the description down below. You really should miss out on that. I found it a very, very unique experience in Berlin, especially because of all the history. There's like really cool stuff that you can shop that is vintage. The fourth biggest mistake, and this is for all my non-veg people or maybe even for my vegetarians, you have to know that Berlin is the vegan capital of Europe. I don't know if it is the vegan capital of the world, but definitely of Europe. There is so much amazing vegan food in Berlin that I feel that even as a non-vegetarian, you should really try it out. It's also kind of part of the rebellious Berlin culture, which is very, very unique for Berlin. I know LA will also try to claim that they're the vegan capital of the world, but I feel that Berlin has more diversity of food versus, you know, LA being more like focused on health. In Berlin, you can also find vegan donuts, and I really, really love just trying that out for the experience. Even though I did find regular donuts better than vegan donuts, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you just have to do it for the experience, right? One restaurant that I would 100% recommend, and it is always crowded, is of course the Bowl. They have amazing vegan food. Trust me, even if you're a non-vegetarian, you will definitely not miss the meat here. It is such yummy food. Please, please, please try out some vegan food. Don't write it off because, oh, I need meat with every meal. Vegan food is really, really unique in Berlin. Number 5, the Rittersport shop, or like do-it-yourself Rittersport bar. OMG, OMG. Okay, Rittersport is a German chocolate brand, and somebody recommended Todd to go here and make your own.
Create your own chocolate, and we just
bumped into it. Yes, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's do it. Make your own chocolate. So Rittersport, in case you don't know or you never heard about it, is a German chocolate brand. They have quite unique chocolate flavors or chocolate mixtures, and they were the first ones. They were the OGs, even before Tony Chocolonely or these cool indie chocolate brands started mixing original chocolate flavors. Rittersport was there. Rittersport had our back with cornflakes chocolate and those kind of things back in the days, and I'm talking about 20 years back. So my attachment to Rittersport is very much emotional from my childhood. Oh my gosh, the mini ones! How cute is this? You can literally buy 1 cube of Rittersport chocolate. This is so cool. So it is really cool to go to that shop and check out all the amazing varieties of chocolate that they have. Even if you're not a chocolate lover, like Rittersport is very much a really cool German brand. Of course, if you have children, they will love this place. You can also make your own Rittersport chocolate, which of course me and my friend had to do. We're going to make our own chocolate. Look how many ingredients they have. Seriously, sour cherry pieces, cranberry, strawberry pieces, raspberry pieces. They have so much. Mini marshmallow. They have popping candy. I can literally make my own jelly popping candy. My gosh, what to pick, what to pick. Look at this. Tots chocolate bar with gold stars. How cute is that? I want rose pepper. And you can pick 3 things, right?
Yes.
And I want sour cherry pieces.
Yes.
And the gold stars.
On top?
Oh, just on top? Okay. Mixing it. And then the gold stars. So cute. 40 minutes later, I need a cup of chocolate. This is Tots bar, the big one. And mine.
There you go.
Cool, thank you. Yay, my own chocolate. It was really, really an amazing experience, and I would 10/10 recommend you to not skip that shop, even if you're not a chocolate lover. Bonus number 6. I was not sure if I should mention this, and that's also the reason why I went to this place, despite other people telling me that it is extremely overrated and that there's not much to see. I am talking about Checkpoint Charlie. It is one of the most iconic checkpoints during the Berlin Wall era, but there's not that much to see. Nowadays, it is just a street. There are traffic lights, regular traffic lights, and there are, of course, pictures of what it looked like, but otherwise, there's not that much left of Checkpoint Charlie. If I can recommend you an alternative, it would be, of course, go to the Berlin Wall, but a lot of parts of the Berlin Wall are painted with art, which is really cool because that's the way Berliners nowadays celebrate their freedom. At the same time, it might also come off a little bit too frivolous and not give you a good impression of how serious this was and how difficult life was for these people during the Berlin Wall era. So what I would recommend you, instead of Checkpoint Charlie, please walk along the Berlin Wall. Like walk far away along the wall until you reach the areas where the wall is not painted. And there they also have like these like explanations of the history and everything. You will get a lot better impression over there of how difficult life was, how families and loved ones were separated, and what a nightmare it basically was. And people can do something like this to each other. Like, I can't even. Speaking of something that is really not done, taking selfies at the Jewish memorial. This is a bonus. Don't. There was a controversy about people doing this, and I couldn't even like get it into my mind why people would think that this was a cool thing to do. Please respect the people who passed away during one of the greatest tragedies of our modern history. Don't think it's cool like to take selfies over there. And the last thing that I would like to say is about the Berlin party scene. And Berliners might crucify me for this. I'm not sure, but this is just my personal opinion. I am not Papi Gloria. I am supposed to have an opinion. I also feel that Berghain, the famous Berliner club, it is extremely overrated. Well, there are a couple of reasons why it's so popular. Obviously because of the freedom that a lot of people have inside, although this has also been a little bit toned down. The last time I was there, it was very much toned down. It is not a beautiful club. It is basically a black hole. There are some interesting people there that I like. The music is hardcore techno usually, so if you're into that, then it's cool. But I think it's mostly also famous because the door policy is so extremely random and so strict that people just have this tendency to, you know, feel privileged if they get inside. But I was like, overrated. Don't shoot me. If you want to go, please go. I'm just telling you my opinion because I'm not Papi Gloria. This is Ivana Perkovic. And I really hope that I've given you a lot of useful information on the biggest mistakes not to make in Berlin. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to put a thumbs up and also make sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed yet. Make sure to click the little bell icon to get notifications whenever I post a new video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.